Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 106 based on novel. So let's start. Even after hearing the word treasure, Wang Lin still remained calm. He had killed the giant demon clan ancestor and sealed the giant demon clan once. If this founding ancestor were to go free and found out about it, Wang Lin would be the first person he would go after. Wang Lin hadn't yet reached a point where he could fear nothing. Moreover, the giant demon clan's founding ancestor hadn't even said what the treasure was. Wang Lin looked at the plants on the giant's chest, then he slapped his bag of holding and the restriction flag appeared. He hadn't used the restriction flag in a while after obtaining the soul flag. Right now was the right moment to use it. Wang Lin shook the restriction flag, causing ropes of restriction gas to appear, then he shouted, "Seal." With one word, all of the ropes of restriction gas turned into restrictions that glowed black. The restrictions moved like ghosts and landed on the giant's chest. Each restriction was like a large net that sealed the plants on the giant's chest. At the same time, he charged out and tore off one branch of the plant. Wang Lin was gentle when dealing with these plants to ensure that they would remain intact. Until now he had only broken off 2 branches. With the branch in hand, he landed on the giant's neck. He felt a powerful life force coming from the giant when he touched the giant's neck with his hand. His eyes lit up as he pressed the branch down on the giant's neck to draw blood. "Save me. If you are willing to save me, I'm willing to become your servant and mount. I'll also give you the giant demon clan's treasure, the heaven-opening metal." The call of help was even more real. "Mount?" Wang Lin trembled and the branch in his hand paused for a moment. "Correct, I'm willing to become your mount. Those powerful cultivators in the Cultivation Alliance like to use giant demon clan members as mounts. If you save me, I'm willing to become your mount." The voice was filled with eagerness. After pondering for a bit, Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he pressed the branch down on the giant's neck. A black circle appeared on the giant's skin as the branch dug into the blood vessel and disappeared. At the same time, blood sprayed out. Wang Lin quickly pressed the jade bottle against the wound and collected all of the blood without missing a drop. The collection speed from before couldn't compare to right now. A large amount of blood was being collected in the jade bottle until the body began to twitch. The powerful life force followed the blood into the jade bottle. "Why aren't you willing to save me when I'm willing to become your mount? What exactly do you want in exchange for saving me?" The voice was now a roar. Wang Lin's voice was calm as he collected the blood and asked, "Who are you?" "I'm the giant demon clan's branch leader, Lei Ji." This voice was filled with a strong sense of pride. Wang Lin calmly asked, "Lei Ji, how were you sealed here?" "Because of the corpse sect. During the battle with the Forsaken Immortal clan, I was hunted by 2 11-leaf shamans and was heavily injured after I escaped. The corpse sect saw that as an opportunity, so they found a powerful cultivator from another planet and captured me and sealed me here while I was seriously injured." Wang Lin looked at the jade in his hand. He spread out his divine sense and found that the bottle had collected a large amount of blood. "You save me and I'll become your mount. The members of my giant demon clan won't easily become someone else's mount, but once we do, we would never betray our master." Wang Lin asked, "Mount? What benefit is there to having a giant demon clan member as a mount?" At this moment, the stream of blood coming out of the wound was thinning and the wound seemed to be healing. Wang Lin pointed at the giant's neck, then the jade bottle flew into the air and was caught by him. At the same time, his right hand, which was filled with celestial spiritual energy, descended and hit the giant's neck. A large amount of blood sprayed out once more and was collected by the jade bottle. "Do you know of the star compass? A giant demon clan member's body is similar to the star compass but much stronger. Our bodies are the best tools for traveling among the stars. Also, the giant demon clan members' bodies aren't affected by some places that cultivators can't even go to. This is why those powerful cultivators in the Cultivation Alliance pay great prices for one of my clan members to be their mount." "Strange." Wang Lin frowned. Although this giant demon clan ancestor's voice sounded very anxious, the replies were very detailed. This point was very strange. It didn't match someone who was very anxious, it was as if everything was just an act. This person first offered to be a mount and to give him the giant demon clan's treasure. Then he began to answer Wang Lin's questions in detail and thus delayed for time. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he pressed his hand on the giant's neck. He used celestial spiritual energy, causing the giant to bleed even faster. And my clan's treasure, the heaven-opening metal, if you save me, I'll give it to you. That is a treasure that is even more powerful than a celestial treasure. The voice contained a hint of temptation. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he sneered and said, "What is the heaven-opening metal?" "It is a treasure that my giant demon clan's first ancestor left behind. There are a total of 99 pieces. Gather them all and they can be used to create an ancient god's battle armor. Wear this armor and you can have the power of the ancient gods from legend. If you save me, I'll reveal the location of one piece." As more blood was drained, the voice became weaker, but the replies were still very detailed. Wang Lin's smile became even colder. He was confident now that this giant was stalling for time. The giant was probably trying to do something. The longer he spent drawing blood, the more it benefited the giant. Thinking about this, Wang Lin decisively grabbed the jade bottle and jumped off the giant. At the same time, he waved his hand and the restriction sealing the plants returned to the restriction flag. Without the restriction sealing them, the plants began to move once more. A few of them arrived next to the wound on the giant's neck, drilled inside, and began to move around. "You, save me! If you save me, I can make the giant demon clan members on planet Suzaku recognize you as their master." Floating in the air, Wang Lin's eyes became cold and he whispered, "I can't save you, saving you doesn't benefit me. I'm not interested in any of the treasures you speak of, and leaving you here so I can gather blood at any time is for the best." The voice quickly said, "You must have great use for my blood. I have bone marrow essence, the energy from that is even more powerful than the energy from my blood. If you want, I can give it to you. I don't even need you to save me, just send news of me to the giant demon clan or the current Suzaku. How about it?" Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He coldly laughed and no longer wasted time with this person. He turned into green gas and disappeared from this place. After Wang Lin left, the giant's body trembled and let out a roar. Only half an incense stick more of time. If that person had continued to drain my blood until there was only 1/3 of it left, it would have definitely lured out the main root in my body. Then I would have a way for my soul to leave this body. This person's roar was filled with frustration. His closed eyes suddenly opened up. Two lights even brighter than lightning flashed in his eyes. As he roared, his expression turned painful as the skin that covered his backbone began to move. Shortly after, purplish-blue thorns poked out from his spine. Rows of scary-looking thorns that were glowing purple appeared on his back. At the top of the giant's spine, a purple plant half the size of the giant's body came out. At the same time, it extended countless branches that slowly covered the giant. A purple flower 1/3 the size of the giant blossomed. It slowly drained the life force from the giant's body to grow. The giant bitterly roared, "Corpse sect! If I, Lei Ji, can break free one day, I'll never let this go." Wang Lin's body appeared inside the corpse sect. He pointed at the air, causing a soul fragment to appear. This soul fragment was the one he had left behind in the cave after he left to check out the situation. The cave had a mysterious power that greatly restricted divine sense, but it didn't have much effect on soul fragments. When Wang Lin pointed at the soul fragment, his eyes lit up and he let out a smile. Then he moved and disappeared from the corpse sect. Wang Lin appeared on the plain above the corpse sect. He suddenly looked to the north and saw a giant wave of blue gas coming toward him like a tsunami. Inside the blue gas tsunami, a boy wearing red was walking this way. This boy was very handsome, his face was as white as jade and he looked very cute. However, his eyes contained a very fierce flame that was well hidden. This wasn't directed at Wang Lin, it was just how his personality was. He walked over step by step. Even the heavens and earth seemed to tremble under his feet. As the blue gas passed, all of the grass and clouds turned blue, creating a bright blue glow. "Ha ha, Wang Lin, what do you think of this old man's new body? Damn, after tens of thousands of years, I finally have a body again. Ha ha, after getting myself a body, I have to enjoy myself. Rumor has it that all the female cultivators on planet Fengluan are beauties. This old man has always wanted to go there. Once we leave this place, I have to go enjoy myself. Wang Lin, do you want to go?" Wang Lin frowned. He looked at the boy before him and calmly said, "Not going." The boy was Situ Nan. After he possessed the body, he shortened his adjustment time by devouring the fourth ancestor. Although he hadn't completely recovered yet, his cultivation level was at the ascendant state already. Situ Nan rolled his eyes and said, "You are too boring. All you do is cultivate, cultivate. What farts are there to cultivate? Do you know why this old man began cultivating? Let me tell you, this old man cultivates to have all the beauties in the world, to steal all the treasures in the world, and get rid of anyone I don't like. This is why I started cultivating back on Planet 4 Saints. Otherwise, with how boring cultivation is, who would do it? When I reached the foundation establishment stage, I decided to give up on cultivation and secretly escaped to a small country with almost no cultivators. I became a lord there, partied every night, and had women serve me every night. That was the life. Anyone who I didn't like would be killed with just one spell. 10 years, I stayed there for 10 years. Situ Nan began to recall the past. He clearly missed those days. Wang Lin flew forward and calmly asked, if it was that comfortable, why didn't you just enjoy the rest of your life there? Anger appeared on Situ Nan's face as he answered, you think I didn't want to? If it wasn't for some vicious core formation cultivator who came looking for trouble, I would have enjoyed the rest of my life there. That core formation cultivator chased me down and I went through many hardships to finally escape. I clenched my teeth and continued my cultivation. This time I endured for decades and reached the core formation stage, then I braced myself again to reach the late stage of core formation before leaving closed-door cultivation. Wang Lin laughed. He looked at Situ Nan and asked, then you went to get your revenge? What revenge? That core formation cultivator had long been killed by someone else. After I came out of closed-door cultivation, I went to a rank 2 cultivation country and continued my nights of partying and enjoying myself. Those foundation establishment female cultivators accompanied this old man all day long. There is no need to even talk about how good those days were. Also, I had a palace in the mortal world. I was an existence on par with the king. That little king was good, he always gave me good stuff to use. Even thinking about it now, I really miss it. Wang Lin rubbed his chin and laughed. Could it be that you met a nascent soul cultivator later? Situ Nan's eyes widened and he said, that's correct. Not even 3 years later, some nascent soul cultivator decided that he wanted one of my foundation establishment female cultivators for a cultivation furnace. This old man couldn't beat him and had to run. This time I cultivated until I reached the late stage of nascent soul before I came out of closed-door cultivation. After that I went around rank 3 cultivation counties living the life of a king and enjoying all the beauties. Back then, a lot of fellow cultivators were very envious of me. Wang Lin laughed loudly and asked, what happened after? Could it be that you met a soul formation cultivator? Situ Nan let out a sigh and said, bad luck. After only 10 years, I killed someone and angered a soul formation cultivator. I nearly died and was saved by the first generation Suzaku. He wasn't the first Suzaku yet, and that's how I met Yi Wuyo. However, his cultivation level wasn't high and he couldn't protect me forever, so I gave up my beauties and began to run for my life again. This time I learned my lesson. I went into closed-door cultivation to comprehend life and reached the soul formation stage. I stayed in closed-door cultivation until I reached the late stage of soul formation. Wang Lin found Situ Nan's cultivation path interesting, so he asked, what happened next? What happened after was I got my revenge. I went to that mid-stage soul formation cultivator's sect and killed him before going back to enjoying life. Unfortunately, this didn't last long because Yi Wuyo found me and asked me to go to the celestial realm with him. So we went and gathered a lot of celestial jades and then I reached the soul transformation stage after going into closed-door cultivation again. I originally wanted to go find a cultivation country and continue to live like a king, because at that point not many people could bother me anymore. This old man didn't want to cultivate anymore because it was too boring and I wanted to live the rest of my life enjoying myself. But that old, thick-skinned Yi Wuyo said that if I wanted to play then I should play outside of Planet 4 Saints. We were going to create a rank 6 cultivation country where I could play any way I wanted to play. I wasn't thinking straight at that moment, so I fell for that old thief's trap. Damn him. For this dream, this old man cultivated endlessly and went all over the place with him. Finally, in the end, he became the leader of all the sects in the country of Suzaku and the two of us raised a rank 4 cultivation country step by step into a rank 6 cultivation country. Both me and him were successful in reaching the ascendant stage and were given this shitty planet by the Cultivation Alliance. This old man was really looking forward to having some fun on this planet Suzaku. Unfortunately, the Forsaken Immortal clan was here. The Forsaken Immortal clan dared to steal from this old man, so how could I let them go? At that time, war covered the planet and the sky was dim. The Forsaken Immortal clan had a few good women that this old man took and had my fun with. Later, Yi Wuyo sacrificed himself along with some old friends to seal the Forsaken Immortal clan. At that time, I was very depressed and was about to leave planet Suzaku to find a weaker cultivation planet to continue my life as a prince. Unfortunately, that old thief Yi Wuyo even schemed against me in his death and made me the second-generation Suzaku. What happened after that, you already know. My body was destroyed and I was forced to hide inside the heaven-defying bead until I met you. Now that I have my body back, I have to get revenge and then have some fun on planet Phone 1. Then I'll find a cultivation country there and continue my life as a prince. Let me tell you, Wang Lin, cultivating just enough is fine. Life is something you should enjoy and have fun in. Situ Nan's eyes contained a hint of melancholy. It was as if he had seen through life. Wang Lin calmly said, "My Dao and yours are not the same." His eyes were calm. He had heard about Situ Nan's life and that was that. Wang Lin knew that he couldn't be as carefree as Situ Nan and enjoy life like that. From an unknown point in time, Wang Lin's heart began to chase after cultivation. He wanted to know what the end point of cultivation was. This was where he differed from Situ Nan. Situ had his own version of brilliance and Wang Lin had his own pride. His pride was reaching the peak step by step, to stand above the world and understand the truth about the heavens. Situ Nan looked carefully at Wang Lin and felt that he never truly understood this child who he watched grow up. Especially now, he felt very unfamiliar toward this Wang Lin, but within this unfamiliarity there was still a hint of a familiar feeling. The reason he felt unfamiliar was because he had never seen this expression on Wang Lin's face before. It was pride in one's own Dao. Situ Nan hated this expression a lot because he had only seen this expression on one other person before, and that was the person he respected and hated at the same time, the first-generation Suzaku, Yi Wuyo. In his heart, Yi Wuyo was like a big brother to him, an existence that was like a teacher and brother at the same time. Although Situ Nan was very proud, he cared a lot about the kindness others showed him, and Yi Wuyo had given him a lot. There were many things he couldn't say, but he remembered them in his heart. That's why even with his temper, even though he wanted to leave, one word from Yi Wuyo made him give up on the idea and stay to become the second-generation Suzaku. In his heart, it was like he was guarding planet Suzaku for Yi Wuyo. From the first time he met Yi Wuyo always had the same expression that Wang Lin had right now. Even when Yi Wuyo died, his expression was still filled with pride. From the lowly disciple of a sect in a rank 4 cultivation country until he was the sect master. Then uniting all the sects in the country to become the sect master of the entire country. Then he used a large amount of willpower to raise a rank 4 cultivation country into a rank 5 cultivation country. Then he did the impossible by raising a rank 5 cultivation country into a rank 6 cultivation country. Becoming a rank 6 cultivation country and being given a planet by the Cultivation Alliance. All of this was because he was Yi Wuyo. Without him, the country of Suzaku would still be an inconspicuous rank 4 cultivation country on planet 4 Saints. Maybe it would have already been destroyed. At this moment, Situ Nan saw the same expression on Wang Lin's face. His heart was filled with complex emotions before he let out a sigh and said, "Forget it. It is too early to talk about this right now. The most important thing now is to send you into the Suzaku tomb and take back your piece of soul from the cultivation planet crystal." Wang Lin, the Suzaku tomb is surrounded by the mysterious power of the cultivation planet crystal, so aside from the current Suzaku, no ascendant cultivator can enter, only soul transformation cultivators can enter, so I can't help you this time. However, you can relax, even if you fail to get your piece of soul back, I still have another way for you to get it back, but that method is very complicated and difficult, so it would be for the best if you could get it back yourself. Wang Lin nodded. He looked toward the country of Suzaku and calmly said, "The matters on planet Suzaku are almost done. Once I get the cultivation planet crystal, I'll leave the planet. Situ, the universe is very large. I hope we will have a chance to meet again in the future." With that, Wang Lin flew off into the distance. Situ Nan laughed as he caught up to Wang Lin and said, "It's too early to say that now. We can talk about it when we part ways. I believe we will meet again. If nothing goes wrong, I'll be a prince on planet Phone 1. As they flew, Wang Lin suddenly asked, "Situ, what realm is above the ascendant stage?" Above the ascendant stage, Situ Nan stopped flying and looked at Wang Lin. Situ Nan answered, with a heavy tone, "The realm above the ascendant stage is not something most cultivators know of because there are simply too few people at those realms. The ascendant stage is a peak and at the same time a door. Most cultivators are stopped at this door, unable to continue their cultivation before their lifespan reaches its end. However, once you break through that threshold and touch the next realm, your lifespan will increase by countless folds. Although it can't last as long as the heavens and earth, it will increase by a lot. I gained some understanding of the next realm before escaping into the heaven-defying bead, which is why I was able to survive for tens of thousands of years in there. But this doesn't mean that my life is infinite. If my time comes and I still haven't made a breakthrough, I'll still die. It's not that there hasn't been people who have managed to escape the heavens reincarnation cycle, but most of the time they are low-level cultivators. It is simply too difficult for those who have reached the ascendant stage to escape the reincarnation cycle. The heavens reincarnation cycle produces different amounts of power based on the cultivator's cultivation level. This is why I said that low-level cultivators have a much easier time escaping the heavens reincarnation cycle with the premise that there is a high-level cultivator helping them. Wang Lin nodded. He recalled when he helped Li Muwen fend off the heavens messenger. Situ Nan took a deep breath and revealed a hint of regret. After the ascendant stage are the 3 realms of nirvana shattering. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. The 3 realms of nirvana shattering? That is correct. The first generation Suzaku, Yu Wuyo, told me about the 3 realms of nirvana shattering after he got the rewards from the Cultivation Alliance. If he hadn't told me, then I wouldn't have known until I became the next Suzaku. Situ Nan sighed as he recalled the past. The 3 realms of nirvana shattering. The first realm is nirvana scryer, second realm is nirvana cleanser, and third realm is nirvana shatterer. Wang Lin took a deep breath, then he frowned and asked, what about after the 3 realms of nirvana shattering? Is that the peak? Situ Nan shook his head and said, how could it be so easy? The 3 realms of nirvana shattering are only considered the second step for cultivators. However, someone at the nirvana shattering stage can be considered a powerhouse in the Cultivation Alliance. People are rarely willing to mess with them. Rumor has it that the old monsters in the Cultivation Alliance have even managed to break through past nirvana shattering. Wang Lin pondered a bit, then he looked towards Situ Nan and asked, you a nirvana scryer? Situ Nan bitterly smiled and said, how could it be so easy? There are 2 thresholds between the ascendant stage and becoming a nirvana scryer, which are the yin-yang cleansing stages. The yin-yang cleansing stages involve a change in domains. It's not the same as it going from non-corporeal to corporeal, but a deeper understanding. I can't explain it too much, but only after your domain has gone through the yin-yang cleansing stages can you become a nirvana scryer. Before I was forced to hide inside the heaven-defying bead, I touched the border of the yin cleansing stage. Although I wasn't able to cultivate while trapped, my understanding of my domain had increased, so I completed the yin cleansing stage. Once I have gone through the yang cleaning stage, I will only need to find a place to go into closed-door cultivation to become a nirvana scryer. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he asked, what cultivation level is Zhu QZ at? Is he also at the yin-yang cleaning stages before nirvana scryer? A hint of disdain appeared in Situ Nan's eyes and then he said, him? Late stage ascendant. I'm afraid he will not even be qualified to reach the yin-yang cleansing stages, so there is no need to even think about him becoming a nirvana scryer. However, he is considered a very special kind of ascendant cultivator. Although he is still weaker than cultivators at the yin-yang cleansing stages, he is not someone a normal late-stage ascendant cultivator can match. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he said, the Suzaku seal from the Cultivation Alliance. Situ Nan revealed hint of appreciation in his eyes and slowly said, yes, he is a titled ascendant cultivator and can be considered a top ascendant cultivator because he controls a special technique from the Cultivation Alliance. Yi Wuyo obtained a powerful technique after coming back from the Cultivation Alliance called the Suzaku seal. It is very powerful and would have been amazing if not for the fact that it costs lifespan every time it is used. Unless an ascendant cultivator has comprehended the yin-yang cleansing stages, then they will find it difficult to match the current Suzaku. However, the techniques given by the Cultivation Alliance are also ranked just like celestial treasures. The Suzaku seal is only a low-quality technique, but it still greatly increases the power of whoever is holding the title. Unfortunately, the Suzaku seal can only be used once you control the cultivation planet crystal. Once you control both, your strength will increase by a lot. The Suzaku tactic that each generation of Suzaku learns is what the first generation Suzaku, Iwuyo, managed to learn from the Suzaku seal. Not only does the Suzaku seal increase cultivation speed, but once you have the cultivation planet crystal, it will increase the compatibility between you and the crystal so that you can reach the strength of a title ascendant cultivator faster. Wang Lin pondered a bit. His eyes lit up and he asked, "You said earlier that celestial treasures are also separated in ranks?" "Of course. Celestial treasures that require celestial spiritual energy to use are split in low, mid, and high quality." Situ Nan's eyes became serious as he said, "There is also a rumor that there is a rank above celestial treasure that is very powerful and one has to be at least a Nirvana Shatra to use it. I think the heaven-defying bead is that kind of treasure." Wang Lin touched his forehead. He pondered a bit and then took out the celestial sword. He looked at Situ Nan and said, "Check what rank this sword is at." After seeing the celestial sword, Situ Nan's eyes lit up, he waved his right hand, and the sword flew to him. He held the sword and touched it with his left hand as he slowly analyzed it. Wang Lin was very calm. He trusted Situ Nan a lot or else he wouldn't have let him check the celestial sword. Shortly after, Situ Nan suddenly opened his eyes. He filled the sword with celestial spiritual energy which caused it to glow. This glow was more than several times more powerful than when Wang Lin used it. Situ Nan whispered, "Good sword." He casually swung it with his right hand. Boom! 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 A series of heaven-shattering explosions came from the air. Then a very large, rift-like wound opened up in the sky. Fierce cold wind came out from the rift and in the blink of an eye the entire ground was frozen over. "Good sword." Situ Nan touched the sword. He turned his head toward Wang Lin and asked, "Where did you get this sword?" "The celestial realm. It belonged to an old friend." Wang Lin's eyes were calm the entire time. "This is a mid-quality celestial treasure. Unfortunately, the sword spirit inside it can't completely merge with the sword, so its power is limited. In addition, this shouldn't be the only sword. I could feel that something was missing when I swung this sword. There should be 4 swords. Once they are combined, they will be like a high-quality celestial treasure. Unfortunately, once a celestial treasure reaches mid-quality, they have a soul mark. This is not the same as our souls but a technique to use the treasure. Without it, we can't activate its full power." "Good sword." Situ Nan liked it so much that he almost didn't want to let it go. Mid-quality celestial treasure? Wang Lin slightly frowned. He thought that it would be a high-quality celestial treasure. Situ Nan's eyes widened and he said, with dissatisfaction, "What? Is a mid-quality celestial treasure not good enough for you? In the entire universe, there aren't that many mid-quality celestial treasures, and cultivators can only refine up to low-quality celestial treasures. Almost all of the mid-quality celestial treasures now are from back before the celestial realm collapsed. A large amount of the celestial treasures that cultivators have are low quality, there are very few mid-quality ones. Once you leave here, you will see how rare mid-quality celestial treasures are. Just one is enough to start a war." Wang Lin's expression slightly changed. He thought back to the celestial realm when he saw Sword Saint Ling Qianhu and some old freaks fight over the celestial swords like crazy. Those people's cultivation levels were definitely beyond ascendant, so Situ Nan's words had a certain amount of logic to them. Mid-quality celestial treasures are already rare, but high-quality celestial treasures are even more rare. This old man has cultivated for a very long time and even traveled to a few cultivation planets, but I haven't seen a single high-quality celestial treasure. "You sure are lucky, brat." Situ Nan snorted. Situ Nan raised his head and asked, "Do you have the tactic for this sword?" Wang Lin pondered a bit and said, "I had some clues, but unfortunately I wasn't able to find it." Situ Nan quickly asked, "Oh? Tell me about it." Wang Lin shook his head. "Things of the past. There's no need to bring it up." Situ Nan smiled, then he looked at Wang Lin and said, "How about gifting me this sword?" Wang Lin looked at Situ Nan and asked, "Are you being serious?" Situ Nan hesitated a bit, then he let out a sigh and threw the sword back to Wang Lin. Forget it. If it was someone else, I'd just steal it, but if it's your things, this old face would feel too embarrassed. Wang Lin smiled. He caught the sword and said, "This sword isn't mine, otherwise, gifting it to you would be fine." Situ Nan snorted and said, "If it wasn't for the fact that this old man's bag of holding was gone and I had nothing right now, I wouldn't care for it." This old man had 2 low-quality celestial treasures. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he said, with a smile that was not a smile, "Shuqzi has a lot of celestial treasures. Not only are all of Shuqzi's celestial treasures low quality, they were also all gathered by the first-generation Suzaku. I feel too embarrassed to steal them." Situ Nan revealed a look of pity. "Situ, what quality do you think this treasure is?" Wang Lin pondered a bit, then he slapped his bag of holding and the beast trap appeared. He threw the beast trap, causing the god-slaying war chariot to appear before him. The soul spirit on the chariot quickly appeared with its fierce eyes open and began to roar. Situ Nan was startled when he saw the chariot, but then his eyes started shining brightly. This video will end here.